Hi. So I wanted to make a guide on rope thistling a little bit. This was one of the first pieces I learned to do the knots on. As you can see, it loosens up towards the tip here, and so I'm actually going to take this out and redo it. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of show how the thistle knot is done, or how I do it. You'll need needles, pliers. You'll need safety shears to cut the rope. You'll need electrical tape. You'll need tiny scissors to cut the tape off. So let this thing out. So this is like a tri knot or whatever. It's like basically these three things are going to all intersect and come up through the middle, and then they're all gonna tighten up on each other, and you're gonna tighten them up in a manner of like if you're like tightening up the screws on something, a piece of furniture, you don't want to tighten them up all the way. Like you want to get them all snug and then tighten them all up. Because if you tighten one up too much, it could it can shift the whole thing and prevent the rest. So we're gonna see that same principle in this when you're tightening it up, because you see how easily I'm able to pull it out as well. That's because at this point I didn't understand how to really tighten these things down. I was still just understanding the structure. Okay, so go ahead, and this is how you're going to start anyway. Oh yeah, I've already got my tape cut. So anyway, here's the longer piece that you'll need to get it. This is about a good distance. You'll want plenty when you're new, especially. You'll want plenty to work with, but not too much, because that can be a problem too. But definitely don't make it too short. You'll want extra ends after you're done anyway, and you like honestly. Let me show you the other one again. Like this is not enough. Like I would want a little bit more than this. I don't know. Well, in my thistles now, that's kind of what I'm doing. So I've got my tape already cut. You're gonna wrap the base, and then you're gonna wrap the three ends. Okay. Then you're gonna kind of spread it open here, and then you're gonna make like a D, with the one on the right here. And you see how this one, so by making the D as well, like you want it to wrap. The idea that it's going to this line is going to wrap over this one. Maybe too esoteric for me to try to explain, um, but yeah, that's the shape you're going for, is this D. And then you're going to take the top one here and you're going to lay it over both. And then the third one, you're going to feed it through that D. And then as you've got fingers on all three ends, you're going to tighten them up kind of all together. Usually you see but even if you pull them all together, it won't close up right. And that's because this one is kind of warped. You see that right there? So you've got to kind of take special care and pull that one a certain way. So brute forcing it, just trying to do this try knot, won't work. I keep trying to keep it in frame. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like from the bottom. And yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to take each one and we're going to loop it around the support structure and up through the middle. And then we're not going to pull it all the way through, because we're going to do it all together. So we'll take this one, and under this support structure right here, and up through the middle. This one through this support structure right here. Just poke it through. And there it is. And now this one right there. So So this one, the only other place it can go and you'll see, and you'll be able to tell the giveaway is the little squeeze there sometimes on the third one. I mean, once you do this enough, these little holes will they'll just stand out to you, and you just push him through, and he's going to follow the other three. And so now when you've got them all together like this, you spin the thing around, and you know, see it's a very clumpy thing, but this is the structure you're just going to work on tightening up, and I'm going to show you the best way to do that. So and the best way to tighten this whole thing up is grab them all together like I've done, and then kind of hold the knot in place gently while you pull all three. And you definitely don't want to do this too much because you're going to tighten up one you don't. But once you've got the base thing right here, you can start to tighten it up. I'll do the first couple with my fingers usually, and then I'll switch to the pliers. So it's always going to be this one, and this one, and this one. So it's the first three that you're going to pull out and down are always going to be, it's the same three, and they're always moving the same direction as you spin the thing. And once you really wrap your head around spinning the thing and you're doing the same pull on each one, all three of these are identical. And so once you really wrap your head around that, this whole thing gets easier. So you're going to grab this one and you're going to pull it out and down, and you see how that kind of pulls that, and that's tightening the knot. And then to finish it, you're going to grab this one. And, you know, it can be kind of a crapshoot of which one do you grab. It's always going to be one of these two. And it's usually going to be this one. And you will start to, like, feel it out pretty quick of which one is which. But see how I'm pulling it? Now, you can pull it a lot more and tighten that up more. But see, it's gripping on this one. But that's on this one. But that's the next one you're going to tighten up. So if you do this one too much, so you don't want to do that. So anyway, come over to this one. Out and down, and then you take this one and you tighten it. Same thing, spin it. There's the third one. Out and down, and then slowly tighten it up. And so now I switch to pliers because now we're getting into the real, you know, we want to make it real snug. So again, same one, and this is that first one we did. And grab it with the pliers, grab it closer to where it's being gripped because it's being held slightly now. And with your thumb, you're actually going to kind of hold that one in place. But out and down, and see all that extra slack I just got, and that's going to tighten up the whole knot. And so you grab the one, slowly pull that thing closed. Take this one. And yep, that's the right one. Pull that one. Okay, same concept. Yeah, out and down. We'll grab the wrong one that time. Okay. And at this point, you can try to continue to grab more, but like I kind of find it ends up just kind of fraying the rope and stuff. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with that. You could take it by hand a couple times and explore the three. Just make sure that they're all good. Let's see. With them being about this length, I will cut this one. Because that one's the shortest of the three. Okay, and then since these are so long, I can just cut right below the tape and throw that away. So that leaves me with that, and over time they will unspool and get fluffy, or you can just sit there and undo it yourself. Now with cutting here, you want to take under the little like vein or whatever. I don't know, that's probably not the proper word. Just go between the cords or whatever, and cut it. And then at this point, so you have it right here. It's kind of lumpy. And so we'll kind of like take it and do that to flatten it out and get some of the air out. And then we'll take the three and we'll tighten it up again. And then you could potentially flatten it some more, depending on how you feel about it. Tighten it some more. I usually do it twice. Because once it's compressed like this, you shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be able to pull it out like I did the first one. So that is the difference. You see how the one on the right is much larger. The one on the left, like, see this one you can see the individual threads. Like this one I could probably pull out with my finger. Yep. So the idea here is, yeah, you shouldn't be able to pull. Yeah, I can't pull that out with my finger. So successfully thistled. I guess I can go ahead and do this one on cam since I have to do it anyway. It might be good to, I could try zooming in more and giving a better look for anybody who needs another look. Let's see, can we go this way? Okay. There. Okay. We'll go ahead and tie it there, or wrap it there, since it's kind of undone so much anyway. Let's see, you can redo it, and this is a good opportunity for you to like gain confidence around unspooled rope or untwined rope, because I used to have kind of an emotional reaction. It's kind of like the first time or even maybe to some extent to this day, like repotting a plant is like, I always feel like it's such a delicate thing, but really like you could just dump the thing out and like it could like sit out of its pot for like an hour or something. I don't know. Like the plants, like they're a lot tougher than you kind of give them credit for, I guess. Depending on your plant, but same thing with like if it came undone, I would just be like, oh my god. But really, like you can learn to rewrap it really easily, and it's yeah. And apparently that's one of the reasons knotted ends are more traditional, is because they were used to using like lower quality rope that you were having to wrap yourself or retwine or whatever, sometimes after many uses, and then you just re-knot the end. But they were saying that like this day and age, like most rope is more high quality and people wouldn't really do that, and it's true, like and so that's one reason to go ahead and thistle your ends and whipped ends. Like I can't get over the aesthetics of whipped ends. They get me. I can't do it. Like I something about the aesthetic and the utility of knotted ends too, or thistled. I mean, it's just a smaller knot. So anyway, you make your D. You D shape, and then you flip this one down, and then you take your third one and you feed it through, and then you close up your crown knot, and then you do a loop, wrap around a support and through, wrap around support and through, wrap around the last support. And like, yeah, this process is so messy, but it always just like kind of comes together in the end. That's the beauty. Once you start to get used to what you're doing, and I thistled. The idea of thistling all my rope sets was very daunting. And then like once I really started to get into it, it's like I really enjoyed it because it's so grounding. Because you're tying. I mean, you're doing rope. It is knots. Like you're just doing 2 knots over and over. But God, if it isn't satisfying when you get it right. I had a bunch of fraz in there. Let's see, where was I? So it was this one. Down and out. Sorry for how dirty my pliers are. We've been through a lot together, y'all. Had these for like 20 years. I don't know. They're like they're a cursed set of pliers. They follow me everywhere. I can't get rid of them. Which is like, I don't know, needle nose pliers have got to be my favorite tool. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like you get the most utility when you need it, and it's the most satisfying, because like if you need needle nose pliers for something, like you're already upset. Like and then they come in and they do the job so well, and you're just like, thank you. They're like a superhero of tools. Okay. Thank you, needle nose pliers. Like, you usually can't find them either because it's like takes forever, like between times whenever you need them. So it's like you got to put up the bat signal for them, the needle nose pliers signal. Okay. Anyway, so there it is. There's a gnat in here, and then oh my god. Sorry. There you go. This is my life, ladies and gentlemen. This is the worst thing ever. Okay, so you tighten it, and then we're gonna roll it up just a little bit, and we'll compare it to the other one. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, a tight little thing. Just like, I'm like, where's the camera? There, yeah. So there they are. They're pretty good as far as being flush up there. This one's a little bit looser than I'd like it, but we're gonna deal with that. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for coming to my Thistle tutorial. Okay, bye.